woman was killed. A woman was killed by her husband's lover. Let me say that again. A woman was killed by her husband's lover. This is the headline of a story that I read in the news about 12 years ago. I logged onto Facebook and all of my friends seemed to be sharing this story about a murder that had happened in America. And we were all in Dubai, so I was wondering, what's going on? I look a little closer, and then I realized, holy shit, I know this woman. I went to school with this woman. So immediately I go to find out more about what happened. And the first thing I see is pictures. Pictures of the murdered woman, because she was such a beautiful woman. Pictures of her smiling, beaming. Pictures of her on her wedding day, all dressed up. And then pictures of her with her arms around her two sons. Of the murderer, the woman accused of murder, there was only one photo. And in it, she looked terrible. It was the mugshot that the police had gotten of her. Her eyes and her lips were swollen. Her hair, her skin, her expression was so dull. And the difference between these two women was obvious, and the internet took notice. Scroll through the comments section and you would see all the hate. Oh my God, that is the mistress? That's the person that he wanted to have an affair with? Oh my God, she is so ugly. What kind of a woman has an affair with a man and plots to kill his wife? Oh my God, she should die. Typical internet, right? The typical kind of comments you expect, but not me. No, I was having a very different reaction, because here's the thing. I went to school with the murderer, with the woman accused of murder. I went to school with her. And in our Catholic school in Dubai, she was an outstanding student. She had so much of potential ahead of her. She had that bossy morality that our teachers loved and respected. And I can still see her standing in the corridor. She had that prefect badge pinned onto her shirt. You know, back then it was really like popular to have those low-waisted jeans and those low-waisted skirts, but not her. She wore her skirt all the way up and tucked her shirt self-righteously into it. She had this bushy black mane of hair that she tied into a plait all the way down her back. I can still see her standing in the corridor saying, "Quiet. Quiet in the halls now, girls. Quiet in the halls." She had that air of a leader, that posture, that poise. And now this, accused of murder? I couldn't make sense of it, and I wasn't the only one. All of my friends and family were having the same reaction. We were each considering this story from different angles, trying to make sense of it. And when I told my mother, I told her about what happened, she was shocked. And she looked at me and she said, "Eva, what must her parents be experiencing now?" They had moved from India to Dubai, and then from Dubai to America, sacrificed so much for their children, and now this? We had access to the sea of compassion because we saw more than just a mugshot. We saw a woman in the fullness of who she was. So innocent until proven guilty. Innocent until proven guilty. Innocent until proven guilty. Until we had to accept that maybe she wasn't innocent. Maybe she was actually guilty. Here's what happened. The media got a hold of her text messages, and they published them online. And when they published them online, we read with horror and discovered three disturbing things. First, we discovered that yes, our school friend was having an affair with this man. Second, yes, she was plotting and planning with him to kill his wife over text message that they later deleted, but it was there on the file. And third, we learned that he wasn't altogether a really nice guy. You see, the husband had told our school friend that it was his wife. His wife was the problematic one. His wife was the one who was withholding the medication from their sons. Life-saving medication, he told her. We learned that this husband was physically violent, that he used to beat up his wife, and that his former girlfriends had filed police complaints against him for domestic violence. And you know what is the most eerie thing of all? Is that his wife was absolutely terrified. She wrote a text message to her brother that was later published. And in it, she said, "I am so sick of the abuse, and I am afraid that he's going to kill me." But at the end of the day, it was my friend who pulled the trigger, and she confessed just as much. She was tried in the court of law, convicted to 30 years in prison, a sentence she's currently serving. And after that, she's probably going to be deported to India, a country she hasn't lived in for decades. And the man got life. Hooray! Justice! The internet cried out aloud in one unified voice. Hooray! The truth has been honored. The truth is complicated. The truth is a woman has been murdered. The truth is 2 little boys have been orphaned. The truth is there is an infinite ocean of heartbreak and trauma that has been set into motion by this one action for generations to come. The truth is one woman killed another, and there has to be consequences. But 30 years in prison followed by deportation? By the time our friend gets out, she will be 60. That's almost a life. And the truth is, I believe today, as I did 12 years ago, that she's not altogether at fault. And so often, my mind has gone to the sea of maybes. Maybe she was lonely. Maybe she didn't know it was going to be fatal. Maybe she meant it when she said she was sorry. Maybe she just wanted to be loved, to be held, to be the only one. Maybe she was so lacking of love that she needs more love and more compassion. And maybe, just maybe, I believe that if the circumstances were different, I, too, might be convinced to pull a trigger. And if I ever did, maybe you could look at me with some compassion. Because here's what I landed with, is that it's not that straightforward. In the past, I've never known anyone who'd gone to prison, accused of murder, or anything like that. It was so straightforward. Crime and punishment, law and order, good guys, bad guys, right? But ever since this has happened, I don't feel that way. And so, ladies and gentlemen, the reason I shared this story here with all of you tonight is with the hope that you take it and put it into your heart. And the next time you see a mugshot of somebody convicted of committing a horrible crime, you just take a moment and think of my friend and think about what might have happened to this person. And the next time that you have a family member or someone in your life who really does you wrong, can you take a moment and ask, what's going on with this person? And finally, and perhaps most importantly, the next time you mess up, and I mean really mess up, can you take a moment and bring a little bit more love to yourself instead of beating yourself up? Because that's what self-love is. It gets a bad rap and it seems like a really trite word to say, but self-love means loving ourselves even when we screw up. And if we can learn how to love ourselves, then maybe we can learn how to love our family members when they mess up. And if we can learn how to love our family members when they mess up, maybe, just maybe, we can learn what it means to love a murderer. Thank you.